The FIFA World Cup is live on Sky Sport.
Oh, what a goal!
See every game of football's ultimate showcase.
Glorious!
You need to subscribe to Sky Starter and Sky Sport to watch this premium content. For details, see sky.co.nz.
Welcome to Football FIFA with Jason Pine.
I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.
Powered by News Talk ZB and Sky Sport, the home of the FIFA World Cup. All 64 matches live.
Welcome into Football Fever, your daily World Cup podcast in association with Sky Sport. David Chope, alongside me, Jason Pine, reviewing today's action from Qatar, and there is plenty to go through. The final matches in Pools C and D. Let's start in Group D on Sky Sport.
It's Australia Day at the World Cup Finals. Another green and golden generation is born.
Australia 1, Denmark 0. Incredible win from the Socceroos over the number 10 side in the world. It sees them progress to the knockout rounds for the first time since 2006. Matt Leckie hadn't scored in his last 10 games for Australia, but came up with the most important goal of his career on Sky Sport.
And here's a break led by Leckie. He's all on his own. No help whatsoever. Matthew Leckie! What a goal. He didn't need the support. He did it all on his own. Pure Aussie joy.
And Leckie says they always had belief.
We always knew we could do it. We believed as a group. We had our doubters, but, with our spirit, our belief, that last 15, 20 minutes, we battled until the end, and it didn't matter what they threw at us. We weren't conceding.
Chody, who would have picked Australia going through to the round of 16 when they were humbled 4-1 by France in their first game?
Well, the phrase little Aussie battler comes to mind. They were exciting games, each one of them that they played, and they gave their best in every game. And today they got a fabulous goal through Matthew Leckie, but I don't know, I've become all Australian all of a sudden. I'm passionate about things like schnitzel and chicken parmigianas and, Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Throw another shrimp on the barbie, Piney, go the Aussies.
They've earned themselves a glamour tie in the round of 16. We'll get to that in a minute. Denmark had players in their squad who play for Manchester United, Barcelona, AC Milan, Leeds United, Tottenham, Sevilla. It was just a triumph of heart and courage, because I didn't think that Denmark, apart from the first 10 or 15 minutes, really offered a heck of a lot.
Yeah, I thought after 15 minutes, gee, Aussie are going to be under the pump. But from that point on, there was nothing really to worry Australia. Look, they didn't go and batter them in reply. So it was just an arm wrestle that was undone by a fabulous goal by Matthew Leckie. He's got a lot to do, and he breaks from halfway. He looked quick, quality, spins inside and out. He was marshalled by one, then two defenders, and he jams it home at the far post, does everything right. So he sees it nestle in the net past Kasper Schmeichel. So what a moment for Matthew Leckie. What a moment for Australia.
Absolutely right. The first time Australia has scored in all three group matches at a World Cup. They are the first Australian team to win two matches at the same World Cup. And the Socceroos have won as many World Cup games in the last 5 days as they had in the previous 48 years. The other game in Pool D saw a massive upset. France 0, Tunisia 1. France are number 4 in the world. Tunisia are number 30. One of the greatest results in Tunisian football history, but they still go home, Chody.
Yeah, they do, and those two countries have a history as well, don't they, France, Tunisia, so plenty in this one. France rolled through their changes, they left a few out, nothing on it, you've already qualified, but they would have wanted to go through the group with that sort of impervious stamp. They would have liked to have won it, I am sure. Late drama with a goal disallowed that would have shared the points, but in some ways you wanted Tunisia to take all three just to have their moment in the sun. Yeah, they go home, but they go home with the scalp of France, so that will have them with half a smile on their face.
Bit of Kiwi interest in this one too. Kiwi referee Matt Conga and assistant referee Mark Rule officiating this one. It was an interesting call at the end. I don't want to dwell on it, but Matt Conga presumably made the call about the disallowing of the goal on VAR.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'd love to have the microphones up in the VAR room, because who knows what he's being told. He clearly wasn't being told it was offside because he was asked to go to the monitor. So he wasn't instructed that the goal was offside. So I think he's had to make a judgment call. Personally, I think he got it wrong. I think it was probably a fair enough goal to Griezmann. Never played at the ball. He's in an offside position, as strikers so often are, but he comes back into play as soon as that ball is headed. For mine, I think they made a wrong call, but hey, who cares?
So the final group games in Group D, who would have predicted this? Australia 1, Denmark 0, Tunisia 1, France 0. It is France and Australia going through to the round of 16.
This is Football Fever.
A barely conceivable climax to Group C. Late in the piece, the scores with the simultaneous games, of course, were Argentina 2, Poland 0, and Mexico 2, Saudi Arabia 0. Those results would have had Poland and Mexico tied in second place on 4 points, same goal difference, same number of goals scored, and the game between them was a 0-0 draw. It meant the next separator was discipline. And as I understand it, Chody, Poland would have advanced by virtue of receiving fewer yellow cards.
Exactly right, and not the first time at a World Cup. It's happened before. So I think it was one of the African countries we know. Senegal? No, was it? Who was it? Can't recall. One of the African sides went home previously on this fair play rule, which sounds horrific, doesn't it? Go out on the fair play rule, but they were tied up so tight. But what a match it made! Particularly that Mexico Saudi Arabia match is well worth a watch on replay. They had to throw everything at it. I think the Mexicans knew exactly what the equation was. They would have been across it. They led 2-0, but they were still throwing the kitchen sink at the Saudis. The Saudis got one late on, which flattered them. Mexico, their mindset was so positive from minute 1 through to 96 minutes. They deserved a little more, but for mine, they will reflect on an opening day where they didn't give enough.
And they certainly went for it, as you say, even at 2-0 up. Another Mexico goal would have changed that picture and sent them through. But as you just referenced, Chody, Saudi Arabia threw a late spanner in the works on Sky Sport.
Al-Dossari, he's got it back! Al-Dossari scores! And kills off Mexican hope!
And it finished Saudi Arabia 1, Mexico 2, meaning Mexico dipped out on goal difference, and Poland go through with Argentina to the round of 16. It's quite odd to be saying goodbye to Mexico. They normally make the round of 16 and don't really progress. But for Mexico to go home in group play, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, perennial qualifiers. I think you go back to the 70s. I was looking at it before the match, and I think you have to go back to the 70s when they didn't qualify last time out. But Argentina, no surprise there. Mexico, the next highest ranked team in the group, so probably a bit of a surprise, that they don't go through. Poland have just sort of quietly gone about their business, and they're into knockout football. But the lovely thing about the way the draw fell, it means the Aussies get the RGs. What a match. What a dream if you're part of that Socceroo environment to be playing against Lionel Messi, the greatest at the moment, quite probably, but to go up against one of the iconic World Cup nations in knockout football. Fabulous stuff. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
And these Australians too, regardless of what happens now, some of them will have played against Kylian Mbappe, Christian Eriksen and Lionel Messi. It's not a bad way to spend a month at the back end of 2022. The next round of 16 matches are confirmed. Argentina v Australia, Sunday, 8 a.m. New Zealand time. And then France take on Poland Monday morning at 4 a.m. We farewell Denmark, Tunisia, Mexico and Saudi Arabia.
FFP with Piney.
Look ahead to tomorrow morning's action. The final games in Group E and F on Sky Sport. 4 a.m, Croatia v Belgium. The winner, if there is one, will advance to the round of 16. Canada, who are already eliminated, play Morocco, who will advance if they win. And Morocco yet to concede in 2 games at the tournament. I quite like Morocco to go through here.
Yeah, well, I put my green highlighter through Morocco over Canada. I think they can win that one. It's almost a home match for them. They'll have the stadium absolutely rocking. So I think Morocco can win and go through, which means we get a big name casualty out of this week, this set of games. I think Belgium are the side that have been least impressive, and therefore, for me, deserve to be the ones going home. But again, knockout football. Croatia and Belgium both have to win to secure their own future. So it's going to be a fascinating morning in Group F. Go Morocco.
Go Morocco. And the last game's also in a fascinating Group E from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. All 4 teams still in with a chance. Japan v Spain. A win for either sees them go through. Germany v Costa Rica. A Costa Rica win sends them through. Germany need to win and hope Japan lose to Spain. How do you see it playing out?
Probably exactly like that. I think Germany probably do win. Costa Rica are the weakest of the group. Japan has shown some steel, obviously, but I think Spain will have too much for them. So I think the smart money goes Germany win, Spain win. But I'd be quite happy if it played out another way. And again, we got another big gun falling out of the tournament. But I don't think it'll happen. I think Germany will go through and then become a threat. And Spain have always been a threat.
So just repeating, tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. on Sky Sport, Croatia, Belgium and Morocco against Canada. The 8 a.m. games, Japan against Spain and Germany against Costa Rica. I sometimes feel, Chody, as though I don't have enough screens. How good has this World Cup been?
Absolutely fabulous this morning. I'm hoarse from shouting at the TV screen. Loving it, Piney. Absolutely loving it.
The FIFA World Cup is live on Sky Sport.
Oh, what a goal!
See every game of football's ultimate showcase.
Glorious!
You need to subscribe to Sky Starter and Sky Sport to watch this premium content. For details, see sky.co.nz.